this segment, we'll talk about the Standardized Field Sobriety Testing and drug impairment. My name is Ashley Schluck, and I'm the Wyoming Traffic Safety Resource Prosecutor. Recent study findings provide support for the use of Standardized Field Sobriety Testing, or SFSTs, as a screening tool for law enforcement officers to identify impairment in those who have used drugs. SFSTs test for balance, coordination, divided attention, and psychomotor impairment, all of which are skills that are adversely affected by drug use. These are all skills that are needed for the safe operation of a motor vehicle. The SFSTs identify impaired drivers in a valid and reliable manner. Recent studies have shown that the horizontal gaze nystagmus, or HGN, is displayed in those drug categories that would be expected to display HGN. The one-leg stand and all clues significantly distinguish drug impairment from those who have not used drugs or are not impaired. Those clues were significantly more likely to be displayed in those that were impaired by drugs versus those that had not used drugs at all. Similar findings were demonstrated in the walk and turn. The clues displayed on the Standardized Field Sobriety tests were significantly associated with the drug category that was used. Pattern of signs displayed on performance on the SFSTs varied by the drug category, consistent within the drug category, supporting the validity of using the Standardized Field Sobriety tests for drugs other than alcohol. We have to remember that alcohol, too, is a drug. The type of errors made on the SFSTs appeared to differ by the drug category used. Tolerance can also display a role in performance. This is no different than alcohol. When somebody is tolerant to the effects of a drug or alcohol, they can perform better or appear to perform better in the Standardized Field Sobriety tests. Studies have shown when driving performance is impaired, a greater number of Standardized Field Sobriety test signs or clues were observed than when driving performance was not impaired. Studies provide support for the use of the Standardized Field Sobriety test as a screening tool for law enforcement officers to identify impairment of drugs, even though the pattern of impairment by those drugs is not necessarily the same as persons impaired by alcohol. Ultimately, Standardized Field Sobriety tests are a predictor of driving impairment, and as such, the Standardized Field Sobriety tests provide an appropriate tool for law enforcement officers to assess the driving capabilities of individuals suspected of impaired driving by drugs.